So this is about invocation and evocation in Janua, Magica, Reserata. And it can be found in manuscript Sloane manuscript 3825 and Harley manuscript 6482. And it's called the Isagogical Observations and Instruction by the way of preface. And here we have number 1 is signs, appearance, what you should appear in. And then you call upon the good angels or elemental powers of light. And here's a similar to D as well as the Magus. A table is needed around crystal or a glass receptacle. I use sometimes a jar filled with water, and 2 candles of wax or on the either side if you do it at night, or a lamp behind it. And here's the instructions. Set a crystal bar or glass receptacle on the table, or in my case a tray, fitted for the action, flanked by 2 wax candles on either side or a lamp behind. And it's fitted for the action is that you dress up the altar. And appearance. If the appearance is called or done outside is evocation. Outside of the receptacle, it will be delectable and pleasant, various and amusing to the senses to behold, as shining brightness or sudden flashes or similitude is very splendid in show. And there I shortened it up. And there comes the invocation for celestial powers or dignified elemental spirits of light. And appearance accordingly is presented, and visible showeth itself either in the strew stone or glass receptacle, or otherwise out of them, as in invocation. And then you must take notice of its cooperative physiognomy and the face and garments, if they are visible for you in that way. Then number 4, action apart. Keep celestial, elemental and infernal actions, operations and invocations kept apart or separate according to the method and manner. And then we have, and that is when you call upon an angel to talk to an angel, you don't call on anything else. You are calling on the angel. An appearance, first sign. When you might feel something, sense something, smell something, hear something. It's however you perceive it. Receive thus is the step after that. And that's when you say, welcome be the light of the highest, and welcome be the messengers of divine grace and mercy unto us. The true servants are worshippers of the same your God, whose name be glorified both now and forever. And here is the good or evil part that modern magic leaves out. And if the appearance be of good, then it will stay. If not, it will immediately vanish or hastily flee away at the rehearsal of the word mercy. And this is quite different from the most other grimoires. An expected appearance invocated or called forth. And here comes what I always do is the questioning and demand, unless you know the angel and the energy. Are you the same who we have called forth by the name of whatever angel? Or what else are you? And of what order amongst the blessed angels? And then I shorten it. You cannot mislike or deny these our sayings. and you push on that, and then it has to give some sort of answer, or then it will make it any answer as per adventure it will. Reply according as the nature of your discourse required. Otherwise, repeat, are you the same? And that's where you go back and you start demanding more harshly. Then it will show forth and tell its name, order and office. When it's known by hearing, it will speak or otherwise show forth. And this is also that since we all have the different gifts, we might feel that some might see mist, some might hear something, some might use the imagination, and that's not something I'm so much into. I don't visualize at all. I just trust my intuition and what it feels like, temperature changes, if fog appears, and sometimes I get a full visual, but that is not through my imagination so much. And then who it is. If you be who you say, in the name of Jesus, say that all wicked angels are justly condemned, and by the mercy of God in the merits of Christ, mankind elect are to be saved. And that was something I missed. I never used Christ or Jesus. So I always learn something new. 13. Answer made or be gone. Whereunto it will then return a satisfactory answer or depart. And this is where you, if it's evil, it must depart. Speak to the appearance. O you servants or messengers of divine grace and mercy, and celestial angels or angelical powers of light, O dignified elemental spirits and mediums of benevolence to mankind, servants of God, you both now at this time always are and shall be unto us truly, sincerely welcome, humbly desiring you also be friendly unto us, and to do for us in whatsoever it shall please God, to give by your order and office to us for the better knowledge and benefit of mankind living on earth, and make us partakers of the science and sapience in the undefiled secret wisdom of your creation. And when you feel that an answer is being made, you know there is a presence and it feels like a yes or no or hearing, however it goes. And if any answer shall be made hereunto, or any discourse from hence should arise or proceed, here upon them both wisdom and reason must be the principal conduct in the management thereof. So you always keep your conduct and your manners and act. But if there be silence and that no discord ariseth from hence, then begin to make humble request for answer to such desires and proposals as in a certain writing is contained, which ought to be in readiness with you. And then will the efforts of all things be undoubtedly and with good success determined, etc. And this is the part where I never back down. I have a golden plate. I write down my request. Then I put a white cloth. If you have silk, that's good, but I don't. My cat likes to scratch holes in the silk, so I use a beautiful cotton thing instead. And I place it there. and then the angels will carry it out from there, but it's always written. And here I should stop, for this is the angelical part, and this is my own. And then you say praise to God in whatever way you wish, and gratitude for the angel. And that is angel evocation and invocation. Really, how it gets done. And there's that when you write and when you ask and when you study and you make these requests, and you always have everything written down. So that is part of the magic. And in those days everybody praised God, and but I was surprised to see Christ here, so we all learn every day. And if there happens to be intrusion of evil powers, which is very unlikely usually, there is this different way to banish evil spirits. You use the vengeance of God, and the tub is a two-edged sword, and then you read out and if they are still obstinate, you start to vanquish in the name of Jesus, and later on the God, that whole chapter. And if no celestial angel appears in place to vanquish, here is very clearly stated that you always need an angel for that. Here is what you need to do in that place, and I think it's very clear in this statement. Rules to be observed by the learned or sophic, which means wise magician. Then the magician, by the office of himself, will not only contract the sight and friendship of the celestial angels, and also dignified elemental and other benevolent spirits of light, to his relief and comfort, and to vanquish and overcome all evil spirits or powers of darkness, etc. But also he shall have power to command, call forth, and constrain all sublunary spirits and powers of all natures, orders, offices, both good and evil, light and darkness, or otherwise, relating thereunto, bring them to such obedience as according to their respective natures and offices they may be so commanded and constrained to serve and obey. And this is the true part of the magic, that you must have, if you are going to deal with higher, darker entities, you must have the command, you must have the angels who helps you. And if you go into this, it starts off that you make an angelical connection. You can do the Kabbalistic cross and or the LBRP and call upon an archangel or an angel and the difference, and introduce yourself to them. Prayer is the easiest way, since it's a safe way. That's why I sometimes include a prayer. Since they hear you, but you are not asking for anything special when you use the old prayers. You are just connecting and aligning with them. Since when sometimes they let you stand there, and you have to have the true friendship of the angels. You must have the trust and to know that he will come. Otherwise you have nothing to do in the circle or as in the magic yet. You have still steps to learn. But this was very interesting, and as I said, is Sloane MS 3825 and Harley MS 6482 and Janua Magia Reserata. And this was a transcription of PetSmart AM Londinarium July 9, 1712. And at least now in Anna Bramelin is quite simple as well. If you But it is, to connect to the angels is dedication every day, my way at least, and for most others as well. And then if the angels upgrade you and ask you to do things, that's when they stand by your side. So it's easier to go by that way instead of doing the Crowley thing where he thought everything and everything went haywire. He didn't have discipline, he didn't follow the Grimoires, he did what he pleased, and sometimes it worked and most often it was a disaster. So that has left so many confused. So when they do the opposite thing in Magic, they don't connect. You go from the highest and to the lowest. You don't go from the lowest up to the highest. Since from the highest comes the orderings that goes down to us people, and then it goes below. So there is that hierarchy and those steps. And unless you ask for permission, or not permission, but you start to connect to God and the angels, and however you do that, once you got the friendship, once they start to teach you, that's when you don't need a human anymore, since you can take any of the old transcripts like this, and the angel will tell you how you change the words to a more modern way. And even if there's just symbols in a book or there are missing pieces, that's why sometimes I'm going to introduce some priestly rites that are done by a priest. And that's something that an angel tells you to. There is